Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to go over the vocabulary and sight word pictures for the first grade Journeys Lesson 1 and the text What is a Pal? Written and photographed by Nina Cruz. For this lesson, we're going to do a turn and talk routine. So turn and talk means first I'm going to ask you a question and give you time to think about your answer. Then, when you know what you're going to say, you're going to pair up. You're either going to be my virtual partner or you can pair up with a partner at home. And then I'm going to give you a chance to share your thinking using a complete sentence or sentences. So here's our learning target. Say it along with me. I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the text. What is a pal? That is our learning target. And here's another learning target. I can have a conversation with a partner about the vocabulary words and pictures. So if you have a partner at home, you can talk to them about the pictures, or if you're my virtual partner, you're going to say your answers out loud given the sentence frames that I give you. Success criteria. That means how will you know you're successful at using pictures and context clues to help you understand important words from the text, What is a pal? Well, here's our steps to success. It's much like climbing a learning mountain. And here's what we're going to do. With my partner, I will, number one, I want you to look closely at each pair of pictures. Look closely at the pictures. Number two, I will say what I notice or see. What do you notice or see? How are the pictures the same or similar? And this is our turn and talk routine. And that's when you share out your answer. And then I will read each word and its definition. So let's go briefly over the turn and talk rules. If you have a partner at home, make sure you're eye to eye and knee to knee. You're facing your partner. If I'm your partner, first one person talks, the other person listens. Or if you have a partner at home, take turns. And number three, then the next person talks, the other person listens. Number four, do not talk too long on your turn or your partner will not have time to have a turn. So for each group of pictures, I'm going to ask you, what do you notice or see? And you're going to say, I notice, and finish your thinking. And I'm also going to ask you, how are all these the same or similar? And you're going to say, they all, for example, if you look at the man and his dog, you could say they all have gray hair and have some maroon on the collar or shirt. They have long jowls and little beady eyes. And then if you have a partner, or if I'm your partner, you can say, I agree with you because, and tell me why. Or if you disagree, you could say, I disagree with you because, and tell me why. So here's our first pair of pictures. What do you notice or see? So you could say, I notice, or I see. Well, I notice that in this first picture, the children are playing, and in the second picture, the children are playing outside. So how are they both the same or similar? They both are playing. So let's see what the word is. Number one, play. Play means to do things that are fun. Play. These pals like to play in the park. Play. How do I use it? Janet can play with a friend. What is your favorite game to play? Okay, next pair of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, I noticed that this picture, they're pointing to something and there's a question mark. And I noticed that in this picture, it's pointing to a place on a map and there's a question mark as well. So how are these pictures both the same or similar? They both or they all have, I would say they all have question marks. So the word is be. This is a tricky one. Tells what or where something is. Be tells what or where something is. They like to be on the same team. So what do they like to do? They like to be on the same team. How do I use it? Boys and girls can be on the same team. Would you like to be in second grade? Good question. Next pair of pictures, what do you notice or see? Say, I notice or I see. Well, I noticed an ampersand, which means and I noticed in the second picture something plus something. So how are these two pictures the same or similar? They both or they all? Well, like I said, they all have and. So the word is and, A-N-D, and. Connects two words, also. The children share the paper and paint. How do I use it? The children use the crayons and markers. Do you like bread and jam? And. Next pair of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, I notice in the first picture, this person is trying to help the other person. And I notice in the second picture, the teacher is helping the students with her math. So how are these two pictures the same? They both, well, they both show helping. So the word is help, help. Give or do something for someone, help. These pals help each other wash the dog, help. How do I use it? The boys help mom wash the floor. Can you help your family make lunch? Next pair of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, here I notice that this boy is going to the other boy, and I notice that these two kids are right next to each other. So they both, how are they both the same or similar? They both, well, they both are with. And you might have noticed down here, I had that right here. The boy was in a show with his pals. It said down here, with, together. With means together. So the boy was in a show with his pals. So this boy is with this boy, and this boy is with this girl. They are together. So how do I use it? My kitten played in the yard with our dog. Do you like to go to the store with your family? You could say, do you like to go to the store together with your family? What do you notice or see? What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, I notice that this girl is pointing at me or you. And I notice that Mickey Mouse, is pointing at me as well. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both. So finish your thinking. They both. I would say they both are pointing to you. So the word is you, Y-O-U, you. Person who is being spoken to. I am speaking to you. I like when you play this game with me. I like when you play this game with me. How do I use it up at the top? You can play the drums. Do you like to go to the movies? Next pair of pictures. What do you notice or see? So finish your thinking. I notice or I see. Well, I notice Minnie and her friend, and I notice here it looks like there's two friends. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both or they all have. Well, I would say they both show friends or friendship. So let's see what the word is. Oh, pal. Another word for friend is pal, P-A-L. You are my pal or you are my friend. So a pal is a friend. She is a pal and a good friend. They love to play at recess. She is a pal and a good friend. They love to play at recess. So what do you notice or see in one or both of the pictures? I notice or I see. Well, I notice in this picture, it looks like they're having a good time. They're jumping and maybe dancing. And I notice that Garfield looks like he's listening to music and moving around. So how are these two pictures the same or similar? They both show moving or dancing. So the word is, oh, fun. When you're moving or dancing, you are having fun. Something that brings joy, happiness, and playfulness. So they're kind of playing around. If you're dancing, you're playing around. Um, Something that brings joy, happiness, and playfulness. They had fun swinging on the swings. It made them happy. All right, let's reflect on our learning target. It says up here, time to reflect, and Pooh and Tigger are looking at their reflection. They're looking at themselves and thinking about their learning. So, what was our learning target? I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the text. What is a pal? How did you do on a scale of 4, 3, 2, or 1? 4 means I could teach this lesson. I easily said how each pair of pictures were the same. Do you think you would give yourself a 4? You could teach this lesson. Or 3, I was able to say how most of the picture pairs were the same. Were you able to say how most? That means the majority. Or 2, I was able to say how some of the picture pairs were the same. Or 1, I was not able to say how any of the picture pairs were the same. So how do you think you did? 4, 3, 2, or 1? So the goal here is to be able to get a 3 or a 4 to be able to say how most or all of them were the same. So let's review. Usually when we're in class, we cut and paste the pictures and match them to the words. So let's review the words. Do you remember this word? Number 1. It's play, P-L-A-Y. Play means do things that are fun. Play. Number 2, do you remember this word? Be. Be means tells what or where something is. Be. They like to be with their friends. Where do they like to be? With their friends. Be. Number 3, and. And. And means connects two words, and it means also. And. Or, remember this word, help. Give or do something for someone. Help. Number 5, you know it? With. With. With means together. Number 6, you. Y-O-U. Person who is being spoken to. Number 7, pal. A friend, someone that you enjoy spending time with. Pal. And the last word, fun. Something that brings joy, happiness, and playfulness. Fun. Boys and girls, thank you for doing the vocabulary and sight words with me today. Have a great day.